Hi, and welcome to English Channel. Are you learning English? Great. Let's learn English with a very interesting story. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. Let's get started.
1. Introduction. The Netherlands means lowlands. This name is very true. Much of the country is flat. Some parts are even below sea level. Long ago, this land was wet and full of swamps. Life was difficult for the early people. It is hard to believe that this modern and rich country began in mud and water. Today, the Netherlands is one of the happiest countries in the world. But in the past, people had to fight the sea every day. Storms and floods often destroyed their homes and farms. The people built strong dikes to stop the water. They worked together to dry the land. Slowly, they created new fields, towns, and cities. The story of the Netherlands is not only history. It is a story of courage, teamwork, and never giving up. 2. Prehistory and the first tribes. The first people came to this land during the last ice age. The weather was very cold. Large animals, like reindeer, lived there. Early humans were hunters. They followed the animals and moved from place to place. Around 5000 BC, life slowly changed. People in the south began to farm. This came with the linear pottery culture. They grew crops and kept animals. They no longer moved all the time. They built simple houses and small villages. But the land was still wet and dangerous. Floods often destroyed homes. So the people built small artificial hills. These hills were called terps. They built their houses on top of them. This helped protect them from rising water. During the Iron Age, new tribes arrived. Celtic and Germanic groups moved into the area. They mixed with the local people. Over time, new groups formed. Two important tribes were the Batavi and the Frisians. They would later play an important role in history. 3. The Roman period. Edge of an empire. 57 BC, 8410. In 57 BC, the Roman army arrived. It was led by Julius Caesar. The Romans conquered the land south of the Rhine River. They called this region Germania Inferior. The Rhine became the northern border of the Roman Empire. Roman soldiers built roads and strong forts. They also built towns, including Utrecht and Leiden. The Batavi became allies of Rome. They were brave and skilled fighters. Some Batavi soldiers even served as bodyguards to Roman emperors. But peace did not last forever. In AD 69, the Batavi rebelled. The revolt was led by Gaius Julius Civilis. This event is known as the Batavian Revolt. At first, the rebels had success, but in the end, Rome won the war. Even so, the revolt became a symbol of freedom. Later generations remembered this brave fight. In the early 5th century, Roman power became weak. In AD 410, the Romans left the region. A new chapter of history was about to begin. 4. The early Middle Ages. The rise of the Franks and Christianity. After the Roman Empire fell, new powers rose in Europe. In this region, the Franks became the strongest group. They ruled under the Carolingian dynasty. One great ruler was Charlemagne. In the 8th century, he united much of Western Europe. His empire was large and powerful. He also supported Christianity. Under his rule, Christianity became the main religion in the area of the Netherlands. Churches were built in towns and villages. Monks traveled to teach people about the new faith. Slowly, old beliefs became weaker. Christian ideas shaped daily life, laws, and education. However, peace did not last long. In the 800s, Viking warriors came from the north. They traveled in long ships along rivers and the sea. They attacked towns and burned villages. People lived in fear of sudden raids. During this time, one important trade place grew strong. Dorstad became a major trading center in northern Europe. Merchants bought and sold goods from many regions. It was a busy and rich town. The early Middle Ages were a time of change. New rulers, new religion, and new dangers shaped the future of the land. 5. The High Middle Ages, the fight against water, and the rise of lords. Around the year 1000, the population began to grow. More people needed more land to live and farm. But much of the land was still wet and full of swamps. Floods were common and dangerous. The people did not give up. They worked together to control the water. They built long walls of earth called dikes. These dikes kept the sea and rivers away from their homes. They also dug canals to drain the water. Slowly, they turned wet land into dry and fertile fields. These new areas were called polders. Life on the polders required teamwork. If one dike broke, everyone could lose their land. So villages cooperated and shared responsibility. This habit of working together became an important tradition. During this time, political power was divided. Local lords ruled different regions. Each lord controlled land, collected taxes, and protected people. Among them, the Count of Holland became the most powerful. Over time, Holland grew stronger than other regions. Trade also became more important. Towns grew along rivers and the coast. Merchants bought and sold fish, grain, wool, and salt. One small fishing village began to rise. That village was Amsterdam. Because of its good location, ships could easily travel from there. Amsterdam slowly grew into an important port. The High Middle Ages changed the land and its people. They fought the water and built stronger communities. They also built the foundation for future cities and trade. 6. The Burgundian and Habsburg period. The road to unity. 1433 to 1567. In the 15th century, new rulers came to power. The Dukes of Burgundy united most of the Low Countries. For the first time, many regions were ruled together. This brought more order and stronger government. Later, the land passed to the Habsburg family. The Netherlands became part of a large European empire. In the 16th century, it was ruled by Philip II of Spain. Philip II lived far away in Spain. He wanted strict control over the Netherlands. He raised taxes to pay for wars. He also tried to stop Protestant reformers. Many people in the Netherlands were becoming Protestant. They wanted religious freedom. But Philip punished those who disagreed with the Catholic Church. His harsh laws made people angry. High taxes hurt merchants and traders. Religious persecution caused fear and unrest. Step by step, tension grew between the ruler and the people. This period brought more unity under one ruler, but it also planted the seeds of rebellion. Soon, the people of the Netherlands would rise to fight for freedom. 7. The 80 Years' War and the birth of the Republic, 1568 to 1648. In 1568, a long and difficult war began. The people of the Netherlands rose against Spain. They were led by William the Silent. He was also known as William of Orange. He believed the Dutch people should have freedom. They wanted lower taxes and religious liberty. At that time, Spain was one of the most powerful empires in the world. Its king was Philip II of Spain. He refused to give the Dutch more rights, so the conflict turned into open war. The war was long and painful. Cities were attacked. Families were divided. Trade was often interrupted. But the Dutch did not give up. In 1581, an important event took place. The northern provinces signed the Act of Abjuration. In this document, they declared that Philip II was no longer their king. It was one of the earliest declarations of independence in history. The war continued for many more years. There were battles on land and sea. Dutch ships fought against Spanish forces. The people showed courage and strong unity. Finally, in 1648, peace was made. The war ended with the Peace of Westphalia. Spain officially recognized the independence of the Dutch Republic. A new nation was born. It was called the Republic of the Seven United Netherlands. It did not have a king. Instead, it was ruled by representatives from the provinces. This was a new and modern idea for that time. The long struggle had created a strong and confident country. 8. The Golden Age, power and culture in the 17th century. After independence, the Dutch Republic became very successful. The 17th century is known as the Dutch Golden Age. Trade grew quickly across the world. Dutch ships sailed to Asia, Africa, and the Americas. They carried spices, silk, sugar, and other valuable goods. One powerful company led this trade. It was the Dutch East India Company. People also called it the VOC. It became the first multinational company in the world. It had its own ships, soldiers, and trading posts. The VOC made huge profits from the spice trade in Asia. Because of trade, cities became rich. Amsterdam turned into one of the most important ports in the world. Banks and markets developed. Many people found work in shipping and commerce. This was also a great time for art and science. The famous painter Rembrandt created beautiful portraits and scenes of daily life. Another great artist was Johannes Vermeer. He painted quiet and detailed pictures of home life. In science, Christian Huygens made important discoveries. He studied light, astronomy, and time. Dutch thinkers and inventors helped shape modern knowledge. The Golden Age brought wealth, creativity, and confidence. The small country that once fought the sea had become a global power. 9. Decline and revolutionary change, 1672 to 1813. After the Golden Age, the Dutch Republic faced serious problems. Its wealth and power began to weaken. Other European countries became stronger. England and France wanted more control over trade and the seas. The Dutch fought several naval wars with England. These wars were expensive and difficult. Trade was damaged, and ships were lost. In 1672, disaster struck. This year is known as Rampjar, which means disaster year. France invaded the Republic from the south and east. At the same time, England attacked by sea. The country was in great danger. Although the Dutch survived, their golden age was ending. Economic growth slowed. Political problems increased. By the late 18th century, society was divided. Two main groups argued about the future of the country. The Orangists supported the House of Orange and strong leadership. The Patriots wanted more democracy and political reform. These conflicts made the Republic weak and unstable. In 1795, French revolutionary troops entered the Netherlands. They helped create the Batavian Republic. The old republic disappeared. Later, in 1806, Napoleon Bonaparte placed his brother Louis Bonaparte on the throne. The country became the Kingdom of Holland. Soon after, it was directly controlled by France. For many Dutch people, this was a time of uncertainty. Their independence was lost again, but change was coming. 10. Building a nation and industrial growth, 1815 to 1900. In 1815, after Napoleon was defeated, a new kingdom was created. It was called the United Kingdom of the Netherlands. The first king was William I of the Netherlands. He worked to rebuild and strengthen the country. At first, the kingdom included both the north and the south. However, in 1830, the southern provinces separated. They formed the independent country of Belgium. Even with this loss, the Netherlands continued to develop. In 1848, an important reform took place. The changes were led by Johann Rudolf Thorbecke. A new constitution limited the power of the king. Parliament gained more authority. Citizens received stronger civil rights. The country became a constitutional monarchy. This system balanced tradition and democracy. In the late 19th century, industry began to grow. Factories produced goods more quickly. Railways connected cities and ports. Trade and transportation improved. Step by step, the Netherlands modernized. It entered the 20th century as a stable and developing nation. 11. The 20th century. War, destruction, and rebuilding. At the beginning of the 20th century, the Netherlands hoped to stay peaceful. During World War I, the country remained neutral. It did not join the fighting. However, life was still difficult. Trade was limited, and food was sometimes scarce. When World War II began, the Dutch again wanted to stay neutral. But this time, neutrality did not protect them. In May 1940, Nazi Germany invaded the Netherlands. The Dutch army fought bravely, but the country was quickly occupied. The occupation lasted 5 long years. People lived in fear and uncertainty. Freedom of speech disappeared. Many goods became rare. Food shortages grew worse, especially during the Hunger Winter of 1944 to 1945. The Jewish community suffered the most. Thousands of Jewish families were arrested and deported. Many were sent to concentration camps. One of the most famous victims was Anne Frank. Her diary later became one of the most important books about the war. It showed the world the human cost of hatred and discrimination. In 1945, Allied forces liberated the Netherlands. The war ended, but the country was deeply damaged. Cities were destroyed. Families were separated. The economy was weak. Rebuilding was not easy. With help from the Marshall Plan, the Netherlands began to recover. New houses were built. Industries reopened. Trade returned. The country also chose international cooperation. It became a founding member of NATO. It also helped create what later became the European Union. After 2 terrible wars, the Dutch believed peace was stronger than conflict. Step by step, the Netherlands rebuilt itself. It entered the modern world with hope and determination. 12. Conclusion: a lesson in cooperation and perseverance. Today, the Netherlands is known for tolerance, freedom, and prosperity. It is a small country, but it has a strong voice in the world. One important idea from Dutch history is the polder model. This model means solving problems through discussion and agreement. Different groups sit together and look for common solutions. They may not agree at first, but they try to find balance instead of conflict. This idea comes from geography and history. In a lowland, everyone depends on strong dikes. If people refuse to cooperate, the sea can flood everything. So teamwork is not only a choice, it is necessary for survival. For centuries, the Dutch fought the water. They faced war, invasion, and political conflict. Yet they continued to rebuild and adapt. Their story teaches a simple lesson. A nation becomes strong when people work together. Long-term success comes from patience, courage, and cooperation. The Netherlands rose from swamps and storms. Its history shows that even a small country can achieve great things when its people stand united.
Hey there! Just a second before you go. If you learned something new today, please give this video a like, write your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel. It only takes a second, and it really, really helps to create even better English videos for you. Your support means the world. Thank you.